catalyst for change with the chance to thrive. Crystal is the one to stir up gifts and save lives. You get exposure, promotion, and marketing too. And advertise for business owners just like you. On Storytime, your interview is global. Virtual or in person, just come on the show. Yo, your story matters. Crystals will open the door. 40 years of experience, ready to give you more on Storytime. Get ready for Storytime. Hey, come on.
Hello, good evening, everyone. Welcome to Storytime. I am Crystal Bodie Smith. I am your Hope Catalyst, and I am so excited to be here yet again. I just want to thank everyone who has been patient, and we want to let you know that we appreciate you taking a moment to join us today for our program. Storytime is about connecting with people and life experiences, and we certainly want to make sure that we give you the opportunity. So if you have not already, please make sure that you click that subscribe button. All right, click subscribe and like and share when you're here. Okay, and let your friends know about us. Today's a special day. Today I am doing a show, and this show is definitely one that has been planned for a while. I'm with the group Style, and several gentlemen in this group, and you're going to meet them. But it's a soft spot in my heart about this show today because one of the members is no longer here. And his name was Douglas Bernard Hampton. And the interesting thing about it is I'm a Hope Catalyst, as I mentioned, right? And I need somebody to mute. So the interesting thing about it is Douglas and I have been planning this show for probably last year. And unfortunately, we lost him on January 1st of the beginning of this year. So what I'd like to do right now is to pay tribute to him. And this was my friend. You know, I knew him at St. Augustine's University. Back then, we called it St. Augustine's College, right here in Raleigh, North Carolina. He was one of a kind. Doug is definitely one of a kind. If you knew him, you definitely knew when he entered the room. He was full of personality, full of personality. Family man, he had daughters, he had a son, and he had people that were near and dear to him, and we certainly want to acknowledge and let the family know that we are in continual prayer with you guys, and we certainly appreciate you guys giving us the opportunity to be able to share. I think one is named Monisa, then we have Brittany, and there was Brendan, and of course his brother Francis, and of course Sylvia. And I'm sure there's other family members too that know and love Doug. And he had many, many, many friends too. But we're sending continual prayers and continual love to all of you that knew and loved Doug Hampton. And I just want to say to you all while we're speaking about it, check on your friends, man. Stay connected to your people, man, because, times are unexpected these days, and you just never know when that last conversation is the last conversation. You know what I mean? So let's make sure that we cherish each and every moment. So we're going to have a good time today, because if you knew Doug liked to have a good time. He was chipper. And when we end this show today, make sure you stay at the end, because I have a message from Doug himself that he sent to me personally. So you don't want to miss that. So hang around for the show, because it's going to be a good one. All right. So I have some guys, right? I have some guys that have known Doug all his life, over 40 years, and they're in the building. Hey, I see you in the building. Are you with me? Say hello, guys. Are you there?
Hi, everybody.
Yeah. Hello.
All right. So right now we have the brothers called Style. Now this group, man, oh man, before we go into it, I'm going to do an individual introduction. But let me tell you a little bit about this group. These brothers have been singing over the years. And some of you from 1350 Oakwood Avenue, especially those who stayed in Delaney Hall, you probably really recognize them, because they did a lot over there in front of Delaney and on the campus of St. Augustine. They've done a lot of shows. They've done a lot of celebrations and everything, and even made it to the Apollo. So we're going to show you all that stuff. But first, let's get an introduction. I'm going to start with Felix Harper. Felix Harper is one of the guys who I know helped start it. Felix, I want you to come on camera and tell us a little bit about who is Felix and tell us a little bit about your relationship with Doug and how this group got started.
Good evening, everybody. I am Felix Harper. I'm married, 2 kids. Um, love to have fun. Played on the baseball team in St. Aug. We started the group back in 1977. After a stint, we were singing on the Hunter Building steps at St. Augustine's College back in 1976, and then we were like, this is something that we can do. We sounded good. We had standing room only outside, and we've just been singing, harmonizing ever since. And actually, when we started, we were actually a harmonic echo. Nothing H. W. used to say 5 diversified voices unified to become one harmonious whole. And that's how we started, and we've been singing on ever since for like 45, 46 years now.
So Felix, as the group developed, I want you to do me a favor, help me out here because you know better than anybody how the group grew. So bring on the brothers individually and tell us each person, bring them on individually because you know who sings what voice. So call them out individually and then we will spotlight them and let them talk about their experience and how they joined the group. So who the first person you're going to bring up?
Oh, there's no question. The love balladeer, Theodore Daniels.
So Theodore, talk to us about your experience with the harmonic echoes, how you got started, and if you had a relationship with Doug, tell us about that, please.
Okay, listen. It was around about the time that Felix was talking about, around '77, and when me and him had hooked up, and a couple others doing right after Roderick and Leandris and Quint and Belton, those guys. One of the original harmonic echoes at the time. Doug, it was just like you said. He was bubbly. He's ready to get into some music. He loved music. I love music. Sometimes me and him would get together and just do a couple tunes together to see how we sound together. I learned from him and he learned from me. And along, he joined the group. Yeah, but Doug, he was all right with me. He really was.
What was your fondest memory of him?
My fondest memory of Doug was that last time we was up there in Raleigh and we was doing the taping, and we was sitting at the front of this church, and we was doing the interview at the time, like somewhat like this one, and we got to cut the food a little bit, before the taping, and we sung a little bit, this tune, that tune, a little gospel, a little secular. It was all good because we was in sync, and it was like we knew what each other was gonna say the next tune or the next sound. We had the ability to variate, be versatile, as Phil said. Yeah.
Nice. Okay, well, thank you so much for sharing. I appreciate that. Felix, who we gonna bring in next?
Let me say one thing before we bring anything next. The original members was Roderick Carnegie, Cedric Venable, myself, Belton H. Douglas, and Theodore Daniels. And then we grew from that.
Okay.
But so since that is said, we'll bring Mr. Cedric Quentin Venerable on next.
All right, Cedric, there you go. Listen, I would love for you to tell us a little bit about your relationship with Doug, and how you got into this group.
Again, it started on 100 building steps. The guys out there singing, and they had all the parts there. The thing they were missing was a bass, and it just so happened that was my forte, and I just blended right in. And we just went from there with a rigorous schedule. We practiced 2 or 3 times a week. We were singing 2 or 3 times during the week. We sing with the gospel choir, do the intermission, sing the second half, and we leave. But we had a schedule. The guys, I couldn't have gotten with a better group. Douglas, he, I, and Teddy were the mid ranges, and it was amazing that Douglas knew what note I was going to, and I would know what note he was going to go to. He was my sidekick. That and we would cover the middle, and it was a phenomenal collaboration between the two of us.
Wow, amazing, amazing. Who we got up next, Felix?
Up next, we're going to go with Mr. Roderick Carnegie, Reverend.
Hello, you guys out there in Crystal, and we thank you again for allowing us to be here.
Listen, I know that you are one of the originals, so we would love to hear from you. Tell us about your relationship with Doug and how it was when you first got into the group.
Okay, let me start off with listening to the group from Lynch Hall over on St. Augustine's campus. I would come down, or you could hear them almost, because we was in the quad and you could hear the guys on the steps kind of singing. So I just wanted to see what that was, and I started hanging out and hearing them. And then I would just add my part, which was more or less real high tenor at that time, even to the falsetto part. And I would add that in. And so they liked what they heard, I guess, with me. And they said, come on, let's do this thing. And so we start doing that, and we start singing. The thing with Doug, he was very flamboyant, and he loved to be happy. He loved fun, to have fun, and that was him. And Doug, as Quentin was saying, was very versatile. And with his voice, he could hear notes, and he would put and add notes that sometimes we wouldn't be able to, add, and it just made the mix even better. I miss Doug, and Doug and I had personally talked sometimes, and his spirit was wonderful. You couldn't ask any more of a person, and he just loved you. Get the shirt off his back and everything else. So again, he was a nice guy, but again, he added to this group, and I appreciate his character.
Wow. It's always good to hear a brother speaking highly of another brother. Felix, who we passing the mic to next?
We're going to have to pass the mic to the man who got us started before the shows. He was he would introduce every song, and he always had something special and humorous to say to get us ready to sing. Y'all show your love for Belton H. Douglas Jr.
All right. Come on up, Belton.
Yeah. How you doing? I'm Belton H. Douglas Jr.
Okay, Belton, you got something in front of you hiding your face. What's that, a shadow? What you done did? What am I going to do with you? There, thank you. Oh, Lord. I'm going to pop you. Just put your hand out.
Put your hand in your pocket.
What I'm saying is like...
my goodness. Okay, but listen, Belton, I know you shared with me some things about this group. Talk to us about Doug and your relationship and your sentiments about this group when you first got started.
See, I don't know nothing about what they talking about, because when I came, and we were roommates. Quentin and I was roommate with Quentin's cousin Marcellus and Randy. Felix would bring Teddy to our room, and then we'd sing. And then he brought Roderick later on to sing. And then we formed a group because we sounded so good as a group. And that's how it became a diversification of 5 voices unified to become one harmonious whole, thus being the Harmonic Echoes. And our first gig as the Harmonic Echoes, we had Earl Graves and Rocky. Rocky played the bass. Earl was just a pretty much individual. But we didn't do it and then we grew from there. Theodore was the voice. He could do everything with the voice. Felix was the spokesman, and he was the most outgoing of all of us to get us all of our gigs. Quentin was really the bass, but I was bass before Quentin. Then I heard Quentin bass, and I'm a baritone. And then Robert would hit the falsetto, especially with How Great Thou Art. Now, after we did our thing, then Leandros came because we were doing the Miss St. Augustine's College thing, and that's when Leandros came on that run right there, and wanted to join the group. And then I left. That was in the 80s, and then I left, and I had to go and find a job. But I came back like 30, 40 years later, and Quentin reached out to me, "Come on, be with us. We're style now." He wrote me a letter. He said, "Call him." Okay, no problem. Then I called him. And then when we were singing as a group with Doug would always search out for me, and me and him would harmonize together on the microphone.
Okay.
And he'd reach out to me. And then, when somebody reaches out to you, and how somebody grab you with their arm and look, and then we blend from there. So I always look for him when we do songs and any type of concert. Like we did one concert at Roderick's church, and then we did one for I don't know the man name. You remember? It was a Christmas program and their anniversary. But he'd always look for me. You know what I'm saying? And then me and him would blend with the group. And then
I got you.
At that time, as Style, Felix, you can see it wasn't a Style or the Harmonic Echoes. If you see that video, it's Felix Harper and some more individuals.
It's Felix in the background singing. Okay, Felix. Okay. All right, Felix. Who I heard that. Well, who we got next?
Okay, so now we're gonna bring Mr. Leandros Ross in. Pretty Ricky is what they call him.
Okay. Pretty Ricky, come on. What you got for us? Tell us about your relationship with Doug and what you remember most about him, and then your experience when you first got in the group.
Well, Doug and I actually, to tell the truth, Felix made a quote on my Facebook page that Doug and I were the closest of the group because we were always together. Him, myself, and Michael Rice. We called ourselves Three the Hard Way.
Yeah.
I was from Durham. I came out of Durham High School, where Felix was 2 years ahead of me. He came out in 77, and I came out in 79. So we're both from Durham. And as a matter of fact, Felix was responsible for bringing me into the group in 1980. And then and Belton left. Like he said, he had some business to attend. And so I brought Doug into the group. And the next person I'm sure that Phil will bring up will be Frederick Ricky Holmes. So we brought him into the group, I think in 1982 or somewhere thereabout. But Doug and I, we were two peas in the pod. We on the weekends, he would go with me home. He had keys to my apartment in Durham. My father considered him as an adopted son. And we would travel up and down Highway 64, going back and forth to Scotland Neck as well. When you saw Doug, you saw me. When you saw me, you saw Doug.
Wow.
He practically helped me raise my son, my oldest son, who happens to be 45 now. His name is Leandros, same as mine. And Doug was very, very special. I miss him so much, and I'd do anything in the world for him. If I could trade places and he'd be here and I'd be where he's at, I would certainly do that because he was very, very instrumental in my life. As a matter of fact, all the brothers were and still are instrumental in my life. I love each one of them. And let me put this out here. Doug and I was responsible for naming our fraternity, which is we call Phi Harmonic. And we talked about it. I said, okay, well, let's choose some colors. So we chose colors, red, black, and white, and brought that to the guys. And so we got nicknames. My fraternity name is Baby Boy. Felix was called Feel the Thrill. Douglas was called Super. Let's see, Dougie Love. Quint was called Super Q, and Rob was called Godfather, and Rick was called Tricky Rick. Teddy and Belton were gone, and Don wasn't yet a member of the group. So that's my memory with Douglas and my boys.
Wow. And I have that picture. I got to find that picture. I have that picture of you, Mike Rice, and Doug when y'all were young that you sent in. Y'all said, I have so many pictures and so many memories of y'all. We're going to show that picture, but I do see it when y'all were little. And so that was special. That's special. And you know what? We don't hear men talk a lot about other men. So this is really a blessing. So thank you for sharing that. Felix, who you got next?
And before we say that, Leandros, it was 1976 when I graduated from Durham High School. Let's clear that up.
Okay. Hey, I apologize. I didn't know you were that young, Philly.
Yeah, it was. I
didn't know you were that young.
It's all right. It says wine, women, sex, and kicks. We were the class of 76. All right, now I'm with it. But all these guys have been inspirational in my life. We have been together through good times, bad times, very, very tough times. And one thing I will say before I bring on the baddest bass man I know is that it doesn't matter how long we've been apart, how long we haven't seen each other. When we call each other and we need each other, we are there.
We're there.
Amen.
We are there.
Amen to that.
When I lost my daddy and my brother and my mother within 18 months, they were there every time. They got me through. So let me go ahead on before I get going too far down memory lane. But let me bring on the baddest bass man I know. I call it Melvin. I don't think Melvin have anything on him. But ladies and gentlemen, show your love for Frederick Rick, the bass man home. Show your love.
Come on now.
Boy, you stupid, boy. I got all these different names. But yeah, it's been a joy. It's really been a joy. It's amazing how God puts you in places that He needs you to be at the right time. While it's saying all, I always sang to myself anyhow. I come from a singing background. My dad's voice even deeper than mine, if you can imagine. But one day coming out the cab, Leandros and Doug were sitting on the rail like they always do. And they heard me, I guess, singing with my Walkman. And they said, hey, come in. Hit this note with us. And from that point on, you come to practice tonight. And so from that point on, I started singing with them. As far as Doug concerned, for me, Doug is probably the most versatile of all.
Absolutely.
He helped me probably more so than anyone in terms of what I needed to do and how I needed to do it. I mean, coming into a group who was singing more than 60, 70 songs, I had a whole lot of catching up to do. And Doug said he was tired of singing bass because Quentin was around. So when he got latched on to me, it was just like, a good fit. And he helped me along the way the whole entire time. So it wasn't for all his tapes and his big boom box and all these different side practices that he had with me, and guiding me and tutoring me, I don't think I would be the person that I am today.
Wow, that's amazing. And I can hear that voice. So I know you had a deep voice. I can hear it. So that's really good. I just wanted to show you real quick. I found that picture. I know that's how far y'all go back with the two of y'all, Leandris and Mike Rice. I know y'all were tight. I know y'all tight. We'll have a slideshow, but I just want to show you. I did have that picture because I know it meant a lot to you. And I know Mike. I know Mike somewhere watching. We remember. We know these two also would always be dressed alike and doing what they do. But we appreciate all the love. We know that was our Superman. We know he was our Superman, so we definitely know that. But I thank you so much for that. So now, Felix, who we got next? I know Don is still trying to get in here, but did we miss anybody?
We have not missed anybody but Don. Hopefully he'll be able to get in soon.
Okay, so when Don comes back, I think he's going to try to come in here. So guys, I know you guys have been singing, and we have a little something to show when you guys were singing, and we have some pictures to show. And when Don comes in, we'll bring him back and let him do that. Let's take a moment to hear you guys. We can't let you sing and harmonize together now because of the acoustics, but I do believe I have a little something where we can hear. For those of you that would like to get a sample of the harmonic echoes style and all these brothers back when they did what they did. So let's take a moment to just check that out. And we're going to do that. I think you're going to like it.
It's getting good. It's getting good. All right, ladies and gentlemen, this next group is 6 young men. The name of them is Style. Come on out, Style. All right. Number 1, number 2, number 3, let them see you. Come out. Move over. Now, what you gonna do for us? What's up?
It's so hard to say goodbye. Yes.
Is that from Cooley High? Is that Cooley High? Do it to them. Style. They definitely got style. Look at them.
How do I?
All right, ladies and gentlemen, this next group is 6 young men. The name of them is Style. All right, things getting good.
And the sad thing about it is, I'm gonna let you talk about that experience first, because we actually know that you actually had to do that song again, and this time when you did it again, you did it for your brother Doug. But before we go there, let's talk about that Apollo experience, guys. How was that? And congratulations for making it to the Apollo. Felix, did you make that happen?
Actually, I did not. We had a guy in Durham we were actually practicing at Central. In Latham Hall with Miss Kilgore, and she would always let us go downstairs in the laundry room and practice. And some young lady was down there, and she said her boyfriend was a manager, so he hooked all that up, and we went down there. It was a long ride. It was one of the best experiences ever. But what people don't know, they tape 3 shows a night. So that's why it's very hard to beat a reigning champion, because that person will sing, then 30 minutes later, a new group will come out and sing with the winner. So the same people voted for the first champion is still out there when you come. But what was instrumental for me was We were out there playing around, and we were at the last show. The first 2 acts of the first show got booed off the stage.
Wow.
We said that ain't happening. We said that is not happening. And then another thing, that the only downfall to me was they gave us 2 minutes to sing. We sang 1 minute and 58 seconds, but they only showed 58.
Right.
You know, bow-legged Lou stopping us after we come off the stage. Kiki Shepard, Cab Calloway, Jennifer Holiday, all giving us props. Rubbing the log, Mark Curry. It was one of the highlights of my life, and to share it with my boys.
Yes. And y'all forgive me. Y'all see me on here because I'm trying to communicate with Don. You know, technology is something, right? And it's just amazing. We're so happy that we have all these gentlemen, and we have one member that's having technical difficulties. So forgive me if you see me moving around. I'm trying to help him to still get in here to be a part of this moment. Okay. Thank you, everybody who is putting stuff in the comments. We see your comments as you post them. We are going to put them on the screen, and we thank you. Let them know you are here, because we certainly do see. I see many people popping in. I see Doug's daughter, Monisha. I see Marquita. Let me just take a minute to acknowledge some people. I see Kathy Frost. I see Bonita Stepter. I see SBH. I see, let's see who else I see. I see quite a few. I know Mike and Lorraine Phillips are watching because she texts me. I know that I can't name everybody. So I want to say to you, if you are watching, find the comments. There's comments that you could type. And then if you type them, say hello and let us know you're there. And I will let the brothers know you're here. And then okay. So that's how that is. So Felix, that was amazing. Who else wants to talk about that Apollo experience? I'm from New York, so I know how it is in New York City. I don't know if that was the first time going, but who else would like to talk about? Just put your hand up first about your experience in New York City at the Apollo and that trip to New York City. Let's see. Or now, okay, come on up.
All right. Basically, this is Cedric. I just want to say one of the highlights, some of the funniest that are not shown, is when we got trapped in that elevator in Lincoln Height Apartments between floors. We had some times, you know, we got caught between the floors, and Hispanic couple there. They managed to get the doors open and slide us a cup or two of water between the doors. You know, that was a highlight for me. That was funny. It was in my ex-mother-in-law's building that we were in. And like I said, those are memories that you can't get back. Also, when we were downstairs, I can't remember the group that was upstairs. We were singing their song as they came through the waiting room. And I think we kind of pissed them off a little bit. We might have sounded a little bit better than they did.
Wow. Okay. And Leandris, how was it for you? Was you there at the Apollo? Was you there at the Apollo too? You were one of the originals. I know you were there. How was it? Can you hear me?
I can speak on it a little bit, Chris, if you want.
Okay. All right, come on up. Yes, sir.
Who are you talking to?
That's okay. We'll come back to you, honey. I got you. I got you. Mm-hmm.
All right. Other than the actual show, I think for me, it was when one of the guys took us out to where the street performers perform at.
Yes.
And that was always something that I was pretty interested in, and see how that worked out. And we threw a hat on the ground, and we started just singing songs and songs and songs. Next thing you know, we had enough for everybody to eat that night.
Breakdancing. They were breakdancing on the street for you?
They were breakdancing on one side, singing on another side, bopping on one side. They were doing all kind of crazy stuff out there. We was in the midst. I tell you, that was a great feeling.
Yeah. It's nothing like New York City if you've never been there. Did y'all get to ride the train while y'all were there?
No.
No, we didn't do any of that.
Okay. That would have been an experience had you done that too. Okay, Leandris, I think you have your sound now. I see you, Felix. Give me 1 second. Leandris, can you hear me? Okay, he may be having a moment there. What were you going to say, Felix?
No, what was that? My cousin took us to the where the performers perform, and I'm glad Rick said that, because actually, one of my favorite comedians, Collier, he introduced us.
Michael Collier?
Michael Collier introduced us. Why? And it's if you can make it in New York, you can make it anywhere. And like Rick said, we had people leaving other performances to come over and hear us. Unfortunately, we did not win at the Apollo, but the guy that won told us he felt like we should have won, just as we did. I thought our clap was louder than that, but what people don't understand is, like I said, they have 3 shows a night. So what happens is, this is why the crowd is so crazy. So Heavy D was there. Heavy D had some tracks. So once he finished, they took the tracks out. Lisa and the Cup Jam was there, where they had their band. So as their band set up, they took the audience to the hospitality room where they had spirits. So while they were setting up, they were upstairs having their fun. They come back down and listen to them sing. Then they go back up to the hospitality room as they take their equipment down. Then the next group had to put their equipment up. So by the time the amateurs get there, they are actually lit. But it was a great time. We had a great time.
Okay, Belton, how about you?
No, I already left the group by then, but I've been at the Apollo. I think I saw Jackson 5 and Joe Tech, because my mother took me there, because my aunt lived on 131st Street. And, 8th Avenue. And see, back in the day, them old women would go to 125th Street and get them furs.
Is he not special?
Yeah, no, I wasn't special. Then I was already gone. But the only thing about being gone is like Teddy and Roderick came to pick me up, because we're gonna do something. And Roderick's car broke down in Whiteville, North Carolina, where you don't get no help. So they had to spend the night, and I had to get my ex-roommate to give us some money to help them to get back to Raleigh, for him to get back to Raleigh, to go back and get some money to get his car fixed. But I was already gone by then.
Okay. Well, how about you, Roderick and Leandris? What y'all have to say?
Well, I think mine was a twofold. When I came up out of Grand Central Station, I rode a train in, and then I was in Times Square when they came up, but the guys were there and we rode around. That was fun. The other one was when I was down, we were down in the green room, and I met, but I didn't know who she was. I met Sheena Easton, I think Prince's drummer, and I was standing there beside her, and we was having conversation, just talking, and I didn't realize that who she was until later on, that who she was. And that was an experience. And to come out and to see that crowd, it was, like Phil said, it was wow. And you'll see me when I came out, I had my hand I kind of looked like Eddie Murphy a little bit at that time. And I just kind of waved the hand and stuff. But I was in awe of all of that, to be at a historical place like that.
Wow.
Don?
Leandris?
Unfortunately, I wasn't blessed to sing on the show. I didn't go. But while I got the floor right quick, I want to share a quick tidbit that we did at St. Aug. We had signed with a production company called CMC out of Raleigh, and had a contest on the campus. We had a contest on the campus of St. Augustine, and they wanted to change our name, and they changed our name to the Forum. And what we did, we would go out and perform at the beach with this band called Altered States. And it was myself, Rod, Rick, and Doug. So I wanted to share that that little piece of history that's part of our group as well. And we went down to the Whispers, which is my favorite group, had a show in town, and they were down at the hotel, that Round Rotunda Hotel in Raleigh. And we went down there. It was Jerry Butler and the group, the Impressions. They were celebrating their 25th anniversary. But we went down there trying to get discovered. And we went in the bathroom where the acoustics are very, very nice. And Jerry Butler walked in the bathroom, of course, went to the stall and whatever. And we hit a note. We sung When We Get Married. So, doing the bell part was very, very, very beautiful and melodious. And he gave us his card and told us to get in contact with him, but we never followed up on that. So I wanted to share that we did have an opportunity to go out and do some, professional stuff, which we didn't capitalize on. So
wow,
thought I'd share that with you.
That's amazing. So
Yeah.
any other highlights that any one of you would like to speak about? I know each one of you may have your own special event that you did that really is special to you. What would that be for you, Rick?
I don't know. I was just thinking about that, Crystal. I think for me, it was probably the times that we all sang the national anthem at the Charlotte Hornets game.
Oh, nice.
For me, having an arena full of folks there to watch a basketball game, but they hear us first. So that was good for me.
Oh, that's a good one. How about you, Teddy? You're muted.
When we was at the Durham Civic Center, and they had a gospel explosion going on there, and we were invited, and one of the gospel groups that was there that was famous at the time, the Gospel Spiritual Heirs, and it was a song that they sung on their album. The first album they made was I Ain't Gonna Cry No More.
Yeah.
So we guys went into the bathroom and we began to practice, on that song, because we had practiced on that song along with a couple of others. And one of the lead singer happened to come in the bathroom that sang the song. And he got to hearing us in there, and he was amazed.
Wow.
He said, "You guys are bad. You guys are bad."
Okay, yeah, and y'all were. I mean, a lot of time harmony, everybody can't harmonize. And I just want to let you know, Coach Pup is here. Coach Pup says, "I love you guys." Make sure you call Coach Williams.
What's up, Coach?
Coach Pup is
Coach.
Sharonda, I think it's Barrager. She's in the building, and she said she loves hearing the stories, and it's a blessing to hear your stories. And she said that Bishop Francis Barrager, Doug's brother and wife, is watching. So Doug's brother is watching the show with his wife. So we're sending out prayers to you, and we definitely want to let you
know. What's up, little bro?
We are out there for sure. And so it's a beautiful thing to have the family here. I don't know if Mike Rice made it. He said he was going to pop through, but he didn't see it. And so we're thankful. And let's see, who didn't get to share their event that stands out for them? Felix, what was the best? So was the Apollo your highlight?
That's a very, very, very difficult thing to say. Definitely the one of my highlights, but for me, just my highlights is wherever we go sing, that we blessed somebody. I would say probably the best for me was something I did not think I could do. And my dad and my mom and my brother all asked me to sing at their homegoing. One of the most difficult things I ever had to do, but neither one of them asked me for a lot. And for me, being able to comfort my family and having those guys to comfort me during that time was one of the highlights. And then I will also say singing on stage with the Swanee Quintet. They were a very, very popular group at that time. Singing on stage with them, and then the Apollo, because like I said earlier, I met Jennifer Holliday, the original, and I'm telling you, Heavy D, Cab Calloway, Keith Washington, Bow-Legged Lou, Michael Jamal Warner. I might be saying that wrong. Malcolm, yeah. And all the professional acts who shook our hands and gave us props.
Wow.
Was one of the highlights, the best highlight for me.
Okay.
I got one for you, Crystal.
Yes, sir.
We went to Kings Mountain.
Okay.
North Carolina. It was back in the woods. You talking about dark. We sat and we waited, but before all that, I think we were one of the leads for at that time. It was, what's the name of that group that was so popular? It was either the Mighty Clouds of Joy or one of the other ones. And we were sitting down eating, and all of a sudden we just broke out singing a song about chicken bones. It was something we just made up. And we were sitting there eating and playing, and the other group was further down the table. And all they could see, I looked down the table, all I could see were their mouths open. They stopped eating, and from then on out, they know this group was for real.
Wow. Okay, well, you know what? That's amazing. I know that, Felix, you talked about a tough time. I do have, when you guys sang for Doug, I know I have the audio for when you guys sang for Doug, along with some special moments. So I think this is a good time to share that. I think this is a good time to share the audio of when you guys sang and let you reflect on that for a moment.
I know a man from Galilee. If you're in sin, he will set you free. Do you know him? Tell me, do you know him? He's the son of David, the seed of Abraham. Storming up the mountains, he's a meek and humble lamb. Do you know him? Tell me, do you know him? Come on, John. Oh, he's the one who died on the cross. Died for sin, see, and he died.
All right, we're going to. I think we have another. I know we had the song. There was a couple of songs that y'all submitted. I know that you did. It's so hard to say goodbye to yesterday as well. I think we may have that. If we have that, we'll put that up too. I also see Monisa Renee. She said, "It's the harmony for me." And Kathy said, "It's nice to hear the stories." So thank you guys. So give us a minute. I think if we have that other piece, we're going to show that, because we did have that for the It's So Hard to Say Goodbye to yesterday as well. And guys, so I have a lot of video footage.
Away the band. I thought we gave to see forever, but forever's gone away. It's so hard to say goodbye to yesterday. Listen, 'cause I don't don't know where this road is going to, but all I know is where we've been and the things we've been through. If it gets me through tomorrow, I hope it's worth all, 'cause it's so hard to say goodbye to yesterday. And I'll take with me your memory to be my sunshine after the rain. It's so hard to say goodbye to yesterday. And I'll take with me your memory to be my sunshine after the rain. It's so hard to say goodbye to the one you love.
All right. Yes, I do see that one of his dear friends has popped in. I see Mike has made it in the room. Mike Rice, the other dear friend. Hey, Mike, how you doing? Can you hear me? Unmute yourself.
Man, just getting off of work. I tried to get here as fast as I could.
Oh, that's all right. We definitely wanted to give you a moment. Let me give you a moment and spotlight you for a hot minute. I want to say, you know, you were definitely a good friend to Doug. I have pictures of the two of you in your red outfits. Y'all always, when I saw one, I saw the other. I know Leandris was a close friend too, but I know you two. I would see y'all every year during homecoming. And I just want to say, you know, you were definitely a definite good friend. I thank you for those pictures, man. I would catch y'all all the time in those pictures. What do you want the world to know about your good friend, Douglas Hampton, and your friendship that you had over 45 years?
Well, you know, as most of the guys know, at least, you know, the group members know that, you know, Doug is largely responsible, you know, for the brother that I turned out to be. Because, you know, when we first met, you know, I was wilding. And one, I forget which holiday it was, but everybody had went home for the holiday. And I said, you know, he was talking about how much he didn't want to be there right then. And I said, well, you know, I can take you home and I can go home too, but we're gonna stop at my house first. So I took him to meet my mom, and they jailed, you know, and he you know, he made a promise to her that he would keep me out of the way. And it turns out that he was the only friend that told me, I mean, because I was still on the wild side. And he told me one day, man, you know, brother, you're going to have to slow down or I'm going to have to back up off you, man, because I made a promise to your mom, man, that, you know, I was going to make sure you was cool. And I said, well, how's she going to know? He said, because I'm going to tell her. So that woke me up, because nobody had ever came like that before. And over the years, I made it a point to stay in contact with him. And I called Doug every day. Wow. So that's how I knew something was wrong. When, you know, we made a pact, you know, more than 20 years ago. If you see my number in your phone,
wow.
If you can't call me back, text me and let me know you cool.
Yes.
And I called him. It was the last day of December that just passed, and I called him, and he didn't answer. And then when it went past 12, I said, maybe you waiting on New Year's Eve. So when New Year's Eve came and I called him, he didn't answer. I knew something was wrong.
Mm.
So I didn't know what else to do but call the police and send him up in there. But, you know, I knew that he was in a lot of pain, and, you know, his health was, you know, kind of taking a little turn, but, you know, which could have been avoided, but he was a proud brother and he didn't want to go to the emergency room. I begged him and I begged him, but he was like, you know, I'm just going to get some stuff. And I was like, bro, you need antibiotics. But, you know, I couldn't make him do anything. If anybody know Doug, y'all know how Doug was. You know, he'll take your suggestion, but he might not act on it. So, you know, I'm just glad now that, you know, although I feel a tremendous loss, I'm just glad that he doesn't have to go through no more pain.
Yes, yes. And you know what? I want to commend you for being a friend like that. You know, I want to tell people right now that's watching this, hear what he said. He knew something was wrong. And I really do want to make an appeal to everyone. If you have individuals that you don't see, but you are in another state, or, you know, even in the same city, reach out, call each other, check on each other, know that voice, know when something is wrong, hear it in their voice. If they tell you or they don't tell you, and then go check on them, do what we call a wellness check. Knock on the door, send somebody over there if they don't answer the phone, because that could, you know, you could potentially help save somebody. You know, you can't always, but it can. So I commend you, Mike, for that. Thank you so much for sharing that. I know it's hard. I know it's tough. I'll always remember those moments. Like, I had a picture I show before you got here of the two of you in your red. If I can get that back up on the screen.
Oh, yeah.
Picture of the two of you. Y'all always dressed alike.
Yeah.
Always
That was
y'all was sharp, man.
That was actually a tribute to Zeke. You remember Zeke had just passed. Zeke the Kappa had just passed. And for, you know, for everything, he was a go-between for a lot of people. He was definitely St. Aug family. So, you know, I did that to show people that, you know, Groove was bigger than just a social fellowship. You know, I mean, I consider everybody that ever, you know, went to St. Aug or visited St. Aug to be my family. And I wanted to show that rather than just say that. So we came up with an idea at the last minute. We said we're gonna wear red, man, to represent Zeke. And that's why we did that, man. But yeah, you know, I'm still shook, as most of y'all are, you know, with the loss. But
absolutely,
you know, that was my brother, man. You know, and that I was not ready. And I was not ready for that, you know what I mean? But at the same time, you know, I do understand that, you know, we're all on loan. And when God calls you home, you got to go.
That's it.
You know,
and we shared a picture that Leandra sent me of the three of you guys. I think I have that in the overlay too, of the three of you when y'all were younger. We had that in a presentation also. So we know y'all have history. We know y'all have history.
Oh, yeah.
And
that was my boy,
so
man.
I appreciate just listening to all you brothers share your heartfelt sentiments about Doug. And I want to give you the opportunity at this moment also to say what you might want to say to one another, because a lot of times you don't get that chance. People do it at people's funerals. So I want to give you a chance to give each other your flowers. So I want you to take a moment. And Mike, if you want to hang around, you're welcome to hang around. But I thank you so much for coming in. Don just couldn't get in here. He kept trying, but he just couldn't get in here. And I would love to give each one of you a moment to say to one another anything that you want to say, for whether it's to thank each other for the group, your friendship, being there, whatever it is you want to say. And I'll go in the order of the screen. So we'll start with you, Roderick, and we'll go in the order of the screen. You're muted. You're muted. Let me unmute you. Give me a second. I got you. Give me 1 second. Okay, there you go.
All right. Well, thank you again, Christopher, that invitation. To my brothers, I will always love you and know that you are definitely a part of my heart and my household. We love you. My wife and my two young men, they grew up with you and they love you. And there's nothing that I won't do for each one of you. And just to put it as collectively, I pray for you all the time, and will continue to pray for each and every one of you. More and more success in your lives as we grow on and grow old together. And again, thank you for the ride that you allowed me to ride along with you. And hopefully we'll continue to do more and better and greater things together.
Wow, that's amazing. Thank you so much for sharing that. I appreciate that. We're going to go to Felix.
Guys, I mean, words can't express what you guys have meant to me. My dad and my brother were my heroes. Of course, my mother as well. But I remember when my dad used to come home from work, sit my mama on his lap, and sing her a song at the piano. My brother was one of the best singers I've ever heard in my life. We've lost a chain. We've lost a chain in our link in our chain. We probably all could have done a better job of communicating with him and to him. We need to take the time to check on each other. We need to make sure that we check on each other, because when you talk to somebody, they can say they're all right, but they may not be.
Right.
So we have to knock on doors, as Crystal said. And I'll close with this, guys. No one can ever replace the ride that I've had with you guys. And I'm telling you that God has put us together for a reason. For the people who are listening, some of us, like Belton H. Douglas, was gone for 35, almost 40 years. Leandris is gone for a little while where we hadn't seen him. But you would never know the way we sounded. God put us together because we can go years without seeing each other and sound like we practiced yesterday. Don't waste what God has given us. I love you all and always here for you if you need me.
Wow, thank you so much for sharing that. And I wanted to let you know, Mike, that Doug's brother, Bishop Francis, said he really needed to hear that. So thank you so much. I want to let you know that he said thank you for sharing that. Okay, let's go on over here to Cedric.
Hey, I want to just reiterate what Felix and Roger said. The love is always here. It's for all of the brothers. When I'm not with you and I don't hear from you, I'm always don't think that I'm not praying for you and that I'm not wishing the best for you, because I always am. We have our history is we get together, we practice, we may fuss and fight just like brothers do, but you can't separate us. The most important thing is, when Peter was talking about his father was also instrumental, and I want everybody to know that.
Yes.
It was instrumental in supporting us and pushing us on. Because when WC was out there in the audience and you hit something wrong, he would look at it, he would point to his ear and point to you from the back of the church. You knew what that meant. And I want to thank all our elders, our parents who've gone on, who was also, they left a legacy. And the parents, each one of us, there was no one guy fell in the group that parents couldn't correct anyone in that group, and it was yes sir, yes ma'am. And we grew up with that respect. We grew up with that love, and they showed us how to love. We got to continue the tradition and pass it forward. And that's the challenge that I have for everyone else. And when Rod was talking about the things of the memorable moments, Phil was talking about the memorable moments. Yeah, I remember those too, but I remember the one down at Kahuki Baptist Church when Teddy was singing, "I Don't Have to Cry No More," and the mother of that church snatched him and put him on the seat beside her and would not let him go until he finished singing that song. Those are type things that motivated us, that moved us, and we got to continue on and just instill that legacy in our kids, our grandkids. We are the OGs. We are the elders of the village now, and our job is to teach our young men how to be young men.
Wow.
That's my sermon for tonight.
All right. I thank you. Thank you so much. As Shauna said, she loves hearing the stories. We're going to go over here to Belton. Belton, we're going to come to you and allow you to share your love for brothers. Hold on one second. I'm coming to you right now. There you go. Let me unmute you. Hold on. I'm sorry. There you go. You're muted.
If there's one thing,
yeah, I can hear you. Go ahead.
Okay, if there's one thing you don't want to do is unmute me, and not talk. Because this is one thing I do is talk, especially when it's with love with us. The harmonic echo, the diversification of 5 voices unified to become one harmonious whole. Because what I'm saying, when it came to us, we loved each other at every single practice. At every single practice, every week, we would say the Lord's Prayer and then practice. When you say the Lord's Prayer first, that's appreciation for the Creator or the Lord, and then each other. And then we go into, and then somebody bring a song, we jump on it, whatever song it is. The only thing made me mad about us is Quentin went from bass to tenor. Teddy and Philly sound so good. Quentin went from bass in the choir to tenor. Now you can't do that any kind of way. And so that's the kind of strength and love and commitment we have. And that's what I'm saying. And even to this day, like he said, like 40 years later, my heart is still with the harmonic echoes, even the auxiliary and style. Because what I'm saying, what Don did for me, he's bringing me in, didn't even know me, but we finding a note. I was a cheerleader, but anybody can cheer in unison. But when you do it with harmony, that means you're listening to each other. Anybody can cheer, but when you sing in harmony and respect and listen to somebody else other than yourself and harmonize with someone other than yourself, oh, that's love right there. That's appreciation right there. So it's always been like that. My heart has always been for all of them, even the auxiliary. Once you harmonize with me, oh, we bonded. And I'm going to pray for you and yours at all times. This is Belton H. Douglas lacking 100% smile, but the love is 100%.
Boy, you're still stupid.
Okay. All right. I thank you so much, Belton. And I see the bishop says that you brothers have always meant a lot to me. And the songs you all sang when I was a child, they have always been in my heart. Right. So that's pretty special. That's pretty special.
Don't make us sound old, Reverend. Don't make us sound old, Reverend.
All right, and let's see. George Williams is speaking to you right now. George said, "I always said you can see the glory, but you don't know the story." Coach George Williams, and said, "Thank you for the memories." Okay, right. Rick Holmes, we're going to you. Let's unmute you. Let me get you unmuted. Okay, you're unmuted. Go ahead.
Okay. This journey has been great. As far as seeing with these guys. I wouldn't get nothing for it, a kid from DC coming all the way down here to North Carolina and somehow getting twisted up with these guys and singing for all this time. Not something I imagined. So for that, I'm very, very thankful. And hopefully that we can continue, it's God's will to continue to sing and bless other folks. So basically that's it for me.
All right, and we thank you for that because we know it's a touching moment for you guys. So we thank you. Let me see. Teddy, coming over to Teddy. Where you at, Teddy? Let's get you. Okay. Let me make sure I unmute you. Hold on, Teddy. Got to unmute you. All right. Okay, you're unmuted. You're unmuted.
What can I say? I mean, you guys done said it all. You know, in a nutshell, I enjoyed the journey, as Rick said. I enjoyed it from the first up to now. You know, uh, don't know where all this will lead to, but hopefully something great or wonderful that'll come out of it. And like Bro said, though, to bless people. You know, uh, I love you guys. Always have. And I want to particularly thank you guys for supporting me during the time my daughter had passed. Uh, she got grounded, and I think you guys are coming through and helping me out. I just love you guys, and I bid y'all Godspeed. I really do.
All right, all right. Well, we thank you for that. I'm going to come on over here to Leandris, and let's hear from you, Mr. Leandris.
First of all, I want to give God praise.
Yes.
And for His grace and mercy. And I like to say this to my brothers, that Doug and I came up with this saying when we greeted one another, which means I love you with all my heart and continue to harmonize with me. And it's the word harmonizing. That's how we would greet. And when we departed on harmonizing.
Right.
I'm so grateful that God allowed me the opportunity to spend with these young men. You know, I enjoyed every moment, especially over there at Felix's house. We practiced at his house back in the day. And everything that Quit said about his father is extremely true. He will let you know. So, brothers, we don't stay in touch as often as we should. But that needs to change because tomorrow is not promised to any of us. So it is my hope and my prayer that we stay in touch more. I thank God for you, brothers. I love you all.
Wow.
Continue to strive for greatness. Continue to praise the Lord. And let's continue to be there for each other, okay?
Okay.
I love you guys.
Mike, anything you want to
Love
say
you
to
very
these
much.
brothers? Anything you want to say to these brothers, Mike?
Yeah, most definitely, man. I mean, all of them were an inspiration to me because, you know, what drew me to them was what they did for the campus. You know, more so than anything, I appreciate, you know, everything y'all did to make St. Aug, because St. Aug wasn't St. Aug without the Harmonic Echoes. I'm being serious, man, because I mean, you brothers, man, even though
I know that's right.
Y'all still
you, bro.
sound good. Y'all still sound good all these years later, man. And that's truly a blessing, man. You know, I'm sure that Doug is smiling right now. You know what I mean? Because
yes, sir.
You know,
Dougie love.
we all love him and we all love each other, man. I mean, I was the little brother.
No,
but at the same time, I always popped up. I mean, you can't never guess where you're gonna see me next. But if he was there, I was there with him. You know, but we do need to jail more, and you know, because right now more so than ever, man, we need a voice. We need that voice. You know, because I mean, this is a bad time for Black people. Bad time for HBCUs. And we know we got to take it to the next level. You know what I mean? We don't have no time to waste because there are a lot of people, man, that still got to learn from us before we leave here.
Yeah.
And it's gonna take, it's gonna take us all, you know what I'm saying, to make that happen, man. And the next time we're together, man, we got to do something special.
Well, listen, you're
Absolutely.
driving,
No
so I'm
doubt.
gonna take you
No
off
doubt.
Yeah,
the driving,
yeah.
Mike. So I love you. Thank you so much, but I want you to drive
Appreciate it,
again.
Mike.
Oh, I'm almost home. I'm almost home. I just went and dropped my employees off.
Okay, okay. And so here's the thing I want to do, guys. As we get ready to close this out, I'm gonna go back to you one more time, Felix, as the person who put this together. See if you have anything. Then I have some words from Doug himself, and then we're gonna close this out. So Felix, on behalf of the group, do you have anything particular that you'd like to say before I let us hear from Doug's words?
Yes. First of all, before I go into that, I would like to say, let me give props where it's due. Let me tell you how I thank my wife and my kids for allowing me to go on this journey. I appreciate my wife never fussing when we're gone long, because everywhere we sang was on the East Coast, 3-4 hours from my house. I might leave at 9 o'clock in the morning, get home at 11:30, 12 o'clock. And I appreciate her support. And my sons, who always tell me what you think my daddy used to tell me when I was off, my children will definitely tell me when I'm off.
Mm-hmm.
I appreciate and I love them all. But as a group, I just hope that we have blessed people in ways that that's unimaginable for us. When we sing at birthday parties, when we sing at wedding anniversaries, even when we sing at funerals. My aunt, Rick Holmes' favorite aunt, my aunt Charlotte, called me the other day, asked me where was Boom Boom. That's what she called the bass man. But we sang at her church, at her children's funerals, and to this day, she is always grateful. So I just hope that we have done something and that we can do something to keep blessing people all the time, because God has truly blessed us.
Amen.
Mm-hmm.
Amen.
Yeah.
All right. Well, I appreciate that. So now what I want to do is I want to bless everybody as we get ready to go out. I'm going to share some words from Doug. I want to thank everybody for coming through again. We won't keep you much longer. And I will give you guys the opportunity. Anybody else have any other comments that you want to say that I can give you the opportunity to say? Anyone else have anything else they'd like to say that they didn't get the opportunity to say?
I'd just like to thank my wife and my children as well for um, putting up with the long hours and away from home at times, and they was there and they were very good troopers. Thank you
Hey,
to my
Rob.
family. Yes.
Well, I'm glad you said that, because when we got together in Raleigh, your son came up to me and said in front of his wife, he told her, he said, these guys are the reason I'm the man I am today. That's
Oh my
powerful.
God. Yeah.
That's powerful.
Yeah.
Yes.
You
Oh
know,
yeah. Yeah.
I hear my sons talk about when they were with us and we were singing. I remember, let me stop. But I remember we were in your place, Rick, and I started a song off too high, and I stopped it in the middle. When Justin got through the door, he couldn't wait to tell his mama. Mama, Phil just said he ain't care. Hold up, let me start over. so
Yeah. It's been a lot of sacrifices. Yeah.
It has been.
And we've been truly been blessed with the families that we have and support system that we have. So yeah, I am truly thankful for all that.
Well, I think y'all are smart men. I think y'all are smart to thank the ladies that's been there. I think that's a good move, because I as a woman, I know they appreciate that, because a lot of times it does take a lot to be supported like that. And who said something here? You guys always will be a blessing in my life. I love each of you. Keep in touch. That's Sylvia. So Sylvia is sending her
Love
love
you
to
too,
everybody.
Sylvia.
Sylvia is watching.
Love you,
Sylvia,
Sylvia, baby.
we appreciate you, and sending prayers out to you too, Sylvia. And we're grateful. So, guys, on that note, so we can let everybody go back and enjoy their Sunday evening. Once again, you've been listening to Story Time. I am going to allow you to now go and hear from Doug himself. He sent me a video, and for those of you who may not know, Doug was a double amputee. Guys, I appreciate you guys. Love you guys. I'm so excited to have been there with you through the harmonic echo phases because I was in school from 78 to 82, through the style phases and through everything. I know Doug is happy that we got this done because, like I said, this was initiated by him and I. So I'm just grateful. Thank you, Felix, for getting everybody together. And thank all of you, gentlemen, for all of your efforts. Don, if you're out there listening to us, we saw you. You tried. You definitely did try numerous times. And we're sending you love and appreciation. And we know, Felix, do me a favor, because since Don didn't get to tell us anything, tell us about Don and what part he played in this before we go, please.
Okay. Don was the first tenor. Don, I think his biggest attribute to the group was "Silent Night" by the Temptations. He sang the high part flawlessly. Don was one of the few people in this group that was more comfortable singing background other than Rick because he had the bass. But Don was more comfortable singing background than he was lead. He didn't. He may have had 2 or 3 songs, but the 3 he sang them very well. And he was, like I said, love being in the background, love singing with us. We all love getting together, and it was just like that with Don because when he was there, he was happy. And he just loved doing his part.
All right. Well, we thank you for that. Thank you for sharing that. Okay, guys. So we are going to now let you hear from Doug. And once again, we're here on Story Time. If you have a story that you'd like to share, I've been sharing a lot for St. Aug, y'all, right? It seems like it has been a lot. I do have a few more messages I want to show them. So Nikki here says, Mr. Harper, this is Joey and Wanda's oldest daughter. They are watching, and they said, I still remember you singing at their wedding. Wow, so wonderful to learn about group. Isn't that nice? Demetria Bell came in, and Demetria said, great job, well-spoken, and truly inspirational. All right. And again, Sylvia says, love you, DJC. So, guys, a lot of love. This will still be up. You'll still be able to go back and see a replay. If you think other people that missed this will want to go back and see it, share it. It will be out there on the YouTube channel. You can share it. But we're going to go and we're going to let you hear from the man himself. And I think this will bless you. So bear with me one moment while I get this on here. And this was touching for me.
Hello, everyone. My name is Douglas Hampton. I have overcome many obstacles. But in the process of that, I always would refer back to my college type girl. Keep hope alive. Miss Crystal, you have been an inspiration to many, including me. I have gone through so much loss. I have lost all my grandmothers, all my grandfathers, my mother and my father. But I have not lost my life. I have also lost my legs, both of them. Yet I am at work right now. Don't let anything stop you from doing what you were going to do. Do not. Miss Crystal, I am keeping hope alive as a double amputee, working like nothing ever happened. Driving a 6-speed manual. That's right, they said at the hospital that you will never drive again. Ha! Made them all out of lies. Keep hope alive. Keep hope alive.
I hope that blesses you. So if you're going through something today and you are still here, I want you to know that you need to keep hope alive. You can get through it. Okay? Everybody does have an appointed time and place, but while you're here, find a support system and love on one another And my mission is to stir up the gift, instill hope, and save lives. And yes, that is my tagline, keep hope alive. So I want to thank y'all for being here. I want to let you know that I appreciate you. Subscribe to the channel. Check out some more. There's stories. George Williams stories is here. Many stories is on this channel. Go back and check them out. And I love you guys. And I thank you guys for letting me be here today.
Appreciate it.
Thank you, Crystal.
We love you, baby.
All right. We love you too. So hold tight as we close this out.
A catalyst for change with the chance to thrive. Crystal is the one to stir up gifts and save lives. You get exposure, promotion, and marketing too. And advertise for business owners just like you. On Storytime, your interview is global. Virtual or in person, just come on the show. Yo, your story matters. Crystals will open the door. 40 years of experience, ready to give you more on Storytime. Get ready for Storytime. Hey!